and my term was coming up, and I thought I'd win the election quite easily, which I did. I ended up winning it. It's by a lot, by a lot. Actually, they don't even fight. You know, the cameras used to turn off. How dare you say that? But now they don't. They say, even the crazy ones, they say, well, it's actually right. But I said, it's funny how God can make things end up. And I said, boy, I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. I got the Olympics, pure and simple. I got the World Cup because the head person's a great friend of mine. I got the World Cup and the Olympics, and I'm not going to be president when we have them. And look what happened. They screwed me on the second election, and I got it in the third. And lo and behold, we not only have the 250th, we have the Olympics and the World Cup. So you never know how things are going to turn out. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to congratulate American Cornerstone Institute. It's been amazing, the job that Ben's done. And I have one final thing to say, and this is maybe outside of what I said medically, and watch what's going to happen next week. But outside of that, this is the most important. And he's a part of the medical, too, because he's truly a great doctor. But we are going to be presenting Dr. Ben Carson with the highest civilian award and honor in our country. It's the civilian version of the Medal of Honor, which is our highest military award. It's the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and we're going to have a ceremony at the White House honoring Dr. Ben Carson, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Congratulations, Ben. Congratulations. And everybody, thank you very much. We much appreciate it. Congratulations, Ben. He didn't know this. He didn't know it. I hope he's happy. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good time. Thank you. So I said, do you think Ben would mind if I showed up in other than black tie? They said, he'd be fine with it, sir. I said, no. He's a man that I respect too much to do that, you know? And so I put the damn tuxedo on, and here we are. That's true. Very special. So I'm thrilled to be here with so many friends and distinguished guests to support the phenomenal organization, the American Cornerstone Institute, dedicated to life, liberty, community, and faith. And that's Ben and Candy, frankly. Incredible family. I especially want to thank the extraordinary patriot, American Cornerstone founder, Dr. Ben Carson. We know him as Ben, but he's doctor. He's a great doctor, one of the best. And especially I'd like to thank Candy, because I've known Candy for a long time, and she's the rock behind that man. She's the rock. Wherever you are, Candy, I know these lights are brutal, but that's okay. I know you're out there, Candy, and we love you. And there you are. Thank you. They're rough lights tonight, Candy. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do a little torture on Trump. Let's put those lights right in his eyes. But I also want to wish Ben a very happy birthday. I won't ask how many years, because we don't like talking about that. And personally congratulate the recipient of this year's ACI Founders Award to Susie Wiles. Susie? Where's Susie? There you are. Not only is Susie the first female White House Chief of Staff. That's really surprising. I thought there'd be like a few, none. But it's in history, she's the first. She's also the best. I will tell you that she's the best. She makes problems go away. Now, when I say that, I'll knock on wood, because she makes problems go away. You know, she's the most powerful woman anywhere in the world, they said. I read that today someplace, Susie. You know, one phone call and countries can disappear. But she's not that type of a person. But she is. I believe she is the most powerful woman in the world. That's pretty good, right? We're also delighted to be joined by Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, and there's nobody better than Chris. Chris? Thank you, Chris. He's great. What a combination those two are. I'll tell you, between Chris and Doug, what a combination. It's unbelievable. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. By the way, a strong recommendation of Ben. He said, you know, Ben did such a great job with that. And I would have given it to Ben, but Ben said, I've had it. I want other things to do. But, and he's gone on to some very important things, but he said the best guy is Scott Turner. And I said, that's okay with me, right, Scott? And he's been fantastic. A friend of mine for a long time, ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker. Hey, Matt, they have to stop buying oil from Russia, Matt. Will you talk to those? Will you talk to them, please? The Europeans are buying oil from Russia. It's not supposed to happen, right? Matt won't let it happen much longer, but that's not good. CMS Administrator, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Oz, where's Oz? How are we doing on favored nations, Oz? Next week, okay, favored nations. We're going to be reducing drug prices down to a level that nobody, not by 20%, 30%, by like 1,000%, because, you know, we're paying sometimes 10 times more than other nations. Now, we're not doing it anymore. It's been going on for a long time. That was a deal with drug companies and nations. How to take advantage of the United States. You're going to see the biggest cuts in drug prices, which is going to be great for every aspect, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, everything. It's going to have numbers. I mean, we're going to literally be cutting prices by 500%, 600%. Drugs that sell for $88 in London are selling for $130. You know, think of it, $1,300 for, I call it the fat killer. I don't know if it works or not, but it didn't work for a friend of mine who called me. He said, he's a very successful guy, seriously obese, seriously, highly neurotic, but a brilliant businessman. You need those qualities sometimes, you know? And he calls me up. He used to call me Donnie. Donnie, now he calls me President, so he's come a long way. But he was in a hotel, and he was in London, and he sent down for, I guess it's Ozempic, which we call the fat drug. And he lives in New York in a beautiful apartment, extremely crude individual. He doesn't mind me saying that, as long as I don't tell him his name, because we know a lot of people like him, though. Very successful, fat, neurotic, all the ingredients you need for success, right? And he said, President, you know, this is crazy. Doesn't affect him anything, but this is crazy. He said, in New York, I paid $1,300 for this thing, and here I paid $88. I said, what is it? You lose weight. I said, didn't work on you. Didn't work. Well, what are you talking? He said, it's $88 in London. It's $1,300 in New York. And while that money doesn't bother this guy at all, he's got a lot of money, but the concept bothers him, you know, like, what the hell's going on? And we've all known it's been a secret. Dr. Oz is in charge, and he's a smart, tough guy, and I hope he's going to do the job on it, because it's done. The deal is done, and the drug companies, and they've been for years, for 20 years, this has been going on for many years, decades, and basically the United States has been paying for the cost of drugs of other nations, and it's not going on any longer. I called the drug companies. I called one of the best. I won't use the name because he's actually a high-quality guy. Makes about $40 million a year, all cash. And the reason is that they've been able to sell this crap for 40 years. I mean, who the hell can sell that? And for years they've been saying, well, you know, we have to pay for research and development. We have to do this. We have to do that. That's 2%, 1%. But why aren't other countries paying for research and development anyway? And in the end, I said, look, we're not doing it anymore. We want favored nations. I want the same price as other nations pay, which is far lower than us. And I told them the story of my heavy friend, because it was so poignant the way this guy, you know, as a good businessman, he really hit me with it, and I knew it. But they have such incredible lines. That's why they're so highly paid. They were able to get away with it. And this one particular man, one of the biggest, he said, sir, you're right. We had a debate for 30 minutes, and I was killing him. He couldn't respond to it. You know, why are we paying 10 times more than another country? Right next door, we have a country. People go there every month or 2 months to go buy drugs, rich people, because it's such a ridiculous thing. And I said, they're successful, and they get paid all that money because anybody that could sell this is damn good. They're amazing executives, actually. And this guy really did something that was good. He held up his hands. He said, half an hour, he said, sir, I can't do this anymore. I can't sell it anymore. We got to do something about it. It's very unfair to the United States. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? It took him a long time. You know, it took him about 25 years. It took him a long time. And we're not going to do that anymore. And if the nations give us a hard time, we're going to tariff them for the difference. Because, you know, the nations got very, all over the world. It's the world. We're talking about the entire world. So what's going to happen, Oz, is they're going to go up a little bit because the world is bigger than us. A little bit, like a lot. But it's the world, and it's us. So they're going to go up a little bit. We're going to come down a lot. And it's going to equalize. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. It's called favored nations. And we're going to be paying the price that the lowest nation is paying. And we're going to be getting drugs that would cost $80 someplace else, and we're paying 10 times that amount. I mean, they have one pill where it's $8 for the pill, and we're paying $79 for the same pill. And that's not even the worst example. So we have Dr. Roz is in charge of it, and I put him in charge because he's a very smart guy and a great businessman. Went to a wonderful school called University of Pennsylvania. Congratulations, Oz. Great place. Great place. I like it too, but I don't know. Are we coming after them too? I suspect so. I wonder how much Harvard's going to end up paying us, right? Going to be a lot of money. Going to be a lot. Columbia agreed to $200 million. Others have agreed to mass. You know, what they've done has been terrible. But he went to a great school where I went. And this is going to be earth-shattering. This is not like, you know, we're reducing it. One quick story on this because it's so important. It's so big. It's going to be incredible for every one of our different programs, especially Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, everything. But just, you know, if you look at it, I've been looking at this for years, and at the end of my first term, I was so proud. I was so foolish and proud because I was the first president in 32 years who actually brought drug prices down. So I brought them down for the year. So the first time that this has happened in, I think it was 32 years, a long time, where the drugs started out at X and they went down during the course of the year. So after a 12-month period, and I was so proud of myself, I called a news conference. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that this is the first time this has happened in the history of our country for 32 years, I guess, but maybe longer than that. I'm proud to announce that drug prices for the year have gone down. And the people stood up. You know, the fake news couldn't care less. They didn't get much of a charge out of it. But a couple of people went like this. Because I announced the amount, it was 0.25%. I was so proud. But now I'm going to bring them down 1,300%. Think of this. 1,000%, 500%, 200%, whatever, different. And I'm really proud of that. But at the time, I thought it was wonderful. I actually did something that wasn't done. I didn't think it was just a tiny little cut. But it was something at the time. But after getting to know the system is quite a system. And it's run by very brilliant people on the other side. And we're not going to let that happen anymore. We're not going to be the hospital for the rest of the world. We're going to take care of our country first, and we're going to help other countries also and other places. We have a lot of money coming in because of tariffs. You know, we have a lot of money coming in because of tariffs. If it wasn't for tariffs, we'd have a big problem. But fortunately, we've been able to stop the world from taking advantage of us through their use of tariffs, right? Sort of interesting. But also, here's FDA Commissioner. He's going to be working with us on this. Marty McCary, who's fantastic. He's done amazing. He's done great. Thank you. He's done great. He's really amazing. And they're really working on it with Bobby. They're working on it. Bobby's so non-controversial. I wish we could get somebody who's a little bit more exciting in there. And but they're doing something. And I think we have, frankly, that's a big announcement. I think we have a bigger announcement coming. I hope on Monday, Marty, It's enough. We have to announce. We have to make the announcement. It's so big. We can't let people keep doing this. I don't want to wait any longer. We don't need anything more. And if it's wrong, it's right. It's not going to be wrong. But if it is wrong, it's fine that we have to do it. Because we're going to have an announcement on autism on Monday. Got to be Monday. I don't want to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think it's going to be a very important announcement. I think it's going to be one of the most important things that we will